relationship between angle measures and side lengths in two triangles. So we've already done a video about the angle measures and side lengths in one triangle as far as how they relate. So now we have two triangles here. So what we're looking at before, which actually they're giving us again down here, it says if a triangle has no congruent sides or angles, we always have the three following things. So the longest side is opposite the angle with the greatest measure, the second longest side is opposite the angle with the second greatest measure, and the shortest side is opposite the angle with the least measure. So we can figure this out based on these three guidelines. We also need to remember the triangle angle sum theorem. For this one, because they're only giving us two angles, we need the third angle. So all triangles always add up to 180 degrees. So we need to figure out what do we have and subtract it. I'm going to add these together. I get 7 plus 1 is 8. 4 plus 5 is 9. And then I'm going to subtract it once instead of subtracting twice. So I get 2, and I'm going to borrow again, and I get 8. So this is, oops, started to write that backwards. That's weird. 82. And here, I'll clean that up a little bit because that does look a little ugly. Go back here and bring it down. So this is 82, like that. All right, so let's look at the next one. So we have to do the same thing down here. So I know I have 180 degrees because it's just another triangle. I'm going to add these two together. So I get, let's see, 11 and 12. So I get 121. I'm going to subtract. So I get 7, 1, 9, and 5. So I get 59 degrees in here, like this. And I should have made my pencil a little bit smaller on that one just so that it fit a little better, but that's all right. All right, so we filled this in. So now we want to start going across and figuring out the side lengths that are the greatest and the smallest. They want us to do from least to greatest. So first, let's focus on the triangle on the top. So the smallest angle on the top is 47, so I'm going to go across. So I know DF is the smallest side. Whoop. DF is the smallest side. The next greatest, or the second greatest measure, or least measure, I guess, since we're starting from smallest, the second least measure would be 51, and I'm going to go across, and I'm going to go to DE. So DF is smaller or less than DE, which is less than this last measure, which 82 is the biggest one. So I'm going to go across here. So I have EF, like that. So this is my top triangle. I also have a bottom triangle. Put my bottom triangle here. Put it in dark blue. Why not? All right, so then my smallest one for the bottom triangle is GF, and that's smaller than 58. Oh, nope, I did that wrong. 58 would be the smallest one, wouldn't it? So EF, I'm going to stick this on the front. EF is actually the smallest. GF is bigger than EF, because 59 is just bigger than 58. Just wasn't, I mixed up my numbers there. And then 63 is pointing at the smallest one. So EG. So we want to do here, and I'm going to kind of pick an orangey color. We want to put these together. So we know EF is larger than these two, but EF is smaller than these two. So this is actually going to be the middle. We're going to stick these two together. So we're going to rewrite it all as one. So DF is less than DE, which is less than EF. And instead of writing EF again, I've already written it. So I'm just going to continue. Help if I was paying attention when I was writing. I'm just going to continue writing this. GF and then EG like this. So if we scroll down to the bottom here, that's exactly what they have. They have this nice long list. So on the next page, we're going to actually get started. Let's clear this out and let's go ahead and start. So, okay. So first, we need to start filling in some amounts based on what we've got here. They want us to do angles. So they gave us a couple of angles here, and then they want us to do the rest of the angles. Let's see. Oh, nope, I'm lying. They only want us to do angles for one and then do the same thing for the sides for the other triangle. So for order the angles, angle measures, angle G, angle H, and angle GIH. So this one, they want us to put these in least to greatest first, and then they want us to do lines IJ. So this one up here, IJ, JK, and IK. So they want us to put these angles in order from least to greatest, and then the sides in order from least to greatest. So let's go ahead and look at the angles first. Just like side for the side lengths that are across from the I'm saying that funny. The triangle inequality theorem. Jeez Louise, I'm saying this really funny. I'm sorry. It works both ways. For some reason, I can't get my words out there, but the greatest side is across from the greatest angle. The greatest angle is across from the greatest side. So I can go back and forth either way. So I'm going to go the smallest side because it wants least. So 6 is smaller than 18.19 and 20. So my smallest angle is G. I'm going to write G here in just a moment. 18 is the next smallest or next least. So I'm going to write angle GIH. I don't want to write 64. They don't want the degrees. And I can't write I because I could be here or it could be up here on the top. So I have to use 3 letters to identify that angle. I have to use the two ends of the vertices here, which are kind of the rays coming off, and then the vertex is in the middle. So the vertex in the middle tells me which angle it is. So I want I in the middle, but then I need to describe it, GIH. And I'm going to go ahead and type these in. So I have G, and then I have GIH, and then the next one is going to be H here because 20 is across from H. All right, so I'm going to clear that out real quick, and then we're going to look at the side lengths. So one thing we do need to remember from this one, and this is back kind of from IM1, is that we need, not only do we need to know all 3 angles in order to put the sides in order, but we only are given one angle. So if I can go across the vertex like this, we call it a vertical angle. And vertical angles are always congruent. So if I have this side is 64, this side is also 64. So now I have 2 angles, so I can subtract from 180, because remember, they always add up to 180. So I have 60 plus 64, that gives me 124. I'm just going to subtract. Doop, 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 doop. Mixing up my words early. That's what happens when you do too many of these at one time. All right. So 56 degrees, it goes in here. So now I just want to start putting them in order. So 56 is my smallest. So I want to go across from 56, and I get IJ. That's my smallest. Then I'm going to go to 60 because that's my next one in line. So I'm going to have IK. So let's go ahead and type this in so we don't get ourselves mixed up. So IJ goes first, then IK, and the only one that's left in our list here, because IJ and IK, would be JK. And if we test that, 64 is the biggest. If I go across, there's JK. All right, check. And we're good. All right, so let's clear that. Next. Okay, so this one, they want us to put all the lengths in order this time. So we're only looking at angles. So first, let's look at this triangle on the left. So we want to know what is this length right here. Or not length, sorry. Jeez. What is this angle? So again, we have 180, and we want to subtract what we've already used here. So if I add, I get 10 and 14. So I only have 40 left over when I subtract. So this has to be 40. So now let's go ahead and put them in order. So 40 is the smallest. So I'm going to go here. So GF is the smallest. The next one would be across from 66 here. So it would be GI. And then the biggest one here is across from the 74. It's right here. So this is FI. All right. So now I've put these ones in order, and I'm going to erase a bit here because it's a little too much to look at for the next triangle. So I'll put a little bit back there, but so I'm going to put the 40 degrees back. All right. So now I need to figure out this triangle, and I need to put them in order, least to greatest, but I only have one angle. Well, if we remember, again, back from line 1, a linear pair means that there are two angles on the same line, or at least two angles on the same line. And if they're on a line always equals 180 degrees. We really like that 180. So I'm going to change this to blue. If I know this is 180, then I can say, well, the whole thing's 180. I'm using 40 degrees. So this angle here must be 140. I write that really bad. This one's 140 in here. Boom. All right. So now we have 140. We have 16. We need to figure out what this one is up here. So again, we go back to our 180. It's a triangle. All together, they have to add up to 180. So I know 140 plus 16, that gets me 156. I'm going to subtract, and I get 24. All right, so 24 degrees for this one. All right, 24 is definitely, or nope, 24 is not the smallest. 16 is the smallest. So we're going to go across, and I'm kind of going around the 140 there. So FI is the smallest in the right triangle. And the next one would be the 24. So I'm going to go across here, and instead of drawing over these numbers, I'm just going to kind of let my cursor follow. So now I have IH. And the biggest one would be across from the 140 here. So that would be the FH. All right, H. All right, I'll pick an orange just like I did before. So what we're looking for is one that's repeated. So the only thing that's repeated is FI. And honestly, it should always be the end of one and the beginning of the other. That's how it should always end up. Depends on which triangle you did first. So in this case, we had to do the left triangle first because I have to find the 40 to find the 140. And then I use the 140 to find the 24. So I kind of have to go in that order. We didn't necessarily have to put them in order first, though. I could have found all my amounts, and then I could have done this blue list first and then the red list. I just decided to make the list as I went. So it's just one of those things. Just make sure it's one's at the beginning, one's at the end, and then you want to just put them in order. So I know these are smaller than FI, these are larger than FI. So as I rewrite this, I just want to make sure FI is in the middle, like this. And I'm going to end up writing my tools here. So here's FI, here are the two that are smaller, here are the two that are bigger. So that's the basic idea there. So we just need to type it in. So you don't necessarily need to write it out each time like that, but I'm going to show you before I typed it in here. Okay, check. Yay. All right, clear, and one more. Next. All right, let's go to kind of a pretty green here. All right, so again, they want us to put all the lengths in order from least to greatest. So this one's a lot like that first one we started out with on the example. So we need to find, whoop, put my pen on. We need to find this length here, or I keep saying length, this angle here. So we have 180, and we want to subtract what we have here. So let's see, that's 12 and 11, 12 again. All right, so we're going to subtract 7, 10, 8, 58. So this is 58 in here. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and put them in order since I'm already starting. So again, that's kind of a little too scrunched here to actually do arrows, but 54, I'm going to go across. So that would be IJ, and I'm just saying IJ because that's the way they put it up here, is IJ. If IJ is less than, I'm going to go to the 58 because I'm just going in order. So I go over here and I have IK. And that's smaller than across from 68, which is my biggest one, which would be JK. And I don't necessarily think it's not going to mark you wrong if you put them out of order. Like if you put these out of order, it'll mark you wrong. What I mean is if you switch it, if you said JI or KI, Alex isn't that picky where it's going to mark you wrong in that way. All right, go down here. We haven't used a purple. Let's use purple. So now we need to find this angle here. So again, going back to my 180, and I'm going to subtract what I'm already using here. 60 plus 62 is 122. And I'm just going to subtract. I get 58. I get 58 in here also. It's just different numbers, but we end up with 58 left over for each one. So it's we ended up with 122 for both of these added together. But it's just still slightly different triangles. All right, so 58 is our smallest. I'm going to go across, and I have JK is less than JL. And I think they did, yep, they did do JL. Sorry, I was looking at the list up here. And then 62 is the biggest one, so this would be LK. And I'm putting it in the same order that they're listing it in, but like I said, it shouldn't matter if you put KL or LK. So if we notice again, we have JK at the end and JK at the beginning. So these two are bigger than JK, or sorry, smaller than JK. These two are bigger than JK. So I'm going to click my cursor here, and I'm going to go ahead and write it in. So we have IJ, IK, JK, JL, and LK. All right, let's check it. And we did it. All right, we're all done with that one. Clear. Next.